Oh yeah, the Staffing Sales Summit continues. The Tailgate. What's up, Ashley?
What's going on?
We are fired up today. We got Mr. West Coast himself. Casey J. Cox is in the house. What's up, brother?
How we doing? I felt like I was about to join the WWF ring for a second.
Oh man, you know the energy. Come on now, it's go time.
There we go.
Rich Rosner, aka the Shark, aka Hulk Hogan.
Woo, yeah, brother. Well, I got to tell you, Casey, I thank you for joining the Tailgate here. So much excitement going to happen on March 2nd through the 4th. There, your first time at the Staffing Sales Summit. Ashley, just give him a tidbit of what's going on down there in Florida.
Honestly, it's one of my favorites all year. And I said this last year. It's just the right people in the room all together. It's a more intimate setting, but conversations are happening the entire time. And, Dan put it well. There's not, it's not these side rooms or, people kind of clicking up or whatever. It's just, you're all there together in your meeting, and it's just great. It's really fantastic. And I've learned so much last year. Just in all of the sessions. So
plus it's in sunny
no matter
Florida,
who
by the
you
way,
are,
Casey.
you're going to come away with something.
But it might snow in Florida right now. Who knows what? So in March, we might get a snowstorm. It's crazy weather. But I got to tell you, Case, I'm so pumped up. Everybody talks about you. You've been on my podcast before, man. Your books and your mindset of what you talk about is amazing. So let's just deep dive a little teaser of what's going to happen there when you present.
Yeah, well, this is people who've seen me speak before, if I can speak English. A lot of times I reinforce or teach the components of my book, which is called Win the Relationship, Not the Deal, which seems like common sense things, but yet I've found at the ripe old age of almost 50, most people struggle with these things because we're looking for the silver bullet. We're looking for that secret sauce, but sometimes the habits of how people build relationships, the habits of how they're successful, are constant reminders. And as the author of the book, I learn from myself, which is embarrassing to say, but it means I'm flawed just like everybody else out there. However, this time I'm going to speak a lot about mindset, and I'm going to talk about 3 superpowers that we all have in our life if we choose to use them, which are called humility, vulnerability, and curiosity, which has nothing to do with AI, which I know there'll be AI components of, but I still think the power of EQ works. And I'm passionate about that. I was speaking last week to my friends at CFS and spoke to close to 70 leaders in the room, and had some fantastic conversations specifically about the things I want to be sharing at the summit. And I'm also going to talk about, since you talked about this before we started recording, is since you're a Pittsburgh guy, is Mr. Holmgren. Mr. Holmgren. I have a story to share. That's my little teaser about Coach Mike Holmgren and the word behind me, which is believe, which most salespeople or sales leaders sometimes don't think about, which it can trigger more energy. But yeah, I'll stop there and see what you guys have. But I will definitely be challenging people's mindsets, and I will definitely be bringing energy. And I can't wait to meet you all. And I know Rich and Shark, we met before, and Ash, I think we met briefly, I believe, or maybe
I had to do it briefly, but yeah, I'm excited to deep dive into your session and really get
It's something different. I mean, we have AI, we have sales, but now we have some mind over matter, which I love. You're going to deep dive into, the thinking of it. I can ask you, Casey. Oh, seriously. So what do you see? I'm going to quiz you a little bit real quick here while we have some time. Is what do you think is lacking with salespeople right now? I mean, you say believe, but what else?
Lack of curiosity. Most people think they're curious. They're not. People who attend will obviously they'll leave with actionable, specific questions, talk tracks that they can apply, that will hopefully, like I've seen it help many other clients I work with, like generate quick relationships wins to show that you're uncommon. Because salespeople love to talk and they love to tell, and they don't listen. They think they listen, but they don't. And so I think that's one thing I think it's struggle. I think also one thing they struggle with is every deal that smells like a deal is like the most important deal in the world. And like, I think it's okay to walk away from business, everybody.
Yes. Thank you. Say it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, just because they want to talk to you, well, they might not be a good fit. So if I'm technology staffing and I'm good at Scrum and Agile and project management, let's say, then why would I try to qualify a warehouse tech job? Or why would I try to squeeze? Yeah, it's like, it makes no sense, everybody. And so I get that when we get desperate for deals, we lose track of our focus. But I think sometimes getting back to the basics of who is your ideal customer? What problems do we solve? How do we do it? And if we say we can do it, how do we know? Have we asked our customer what they think of what we do?
Exactly. It's like one theory. Can I say this to you? And you're probably going to give me watch this, Ashley. Cool, calm, and collect. Tom Brady. That's how it is.
You're breaking up again. I can't hear you.
I knew it. But you know, all joking aside, Casey, you're so true on that, because I think when you go into a sales call, even if it's a Zoom, Teams, or if it's in person, I think some people get so nervous and they forget. They want to make it perfect instead of just being relaxed and just go with the flow and listen.
Well, and I tell people all the time, I said, salespeople, it's not what you say, it's what you ask. And the sarcastic thing I'd say is like, so imagine this is my product. Let's say it's a phone.
Yeah.
And let's just say for fun, Ashley and Shark, you guys are married. Congratulations. And you guys, I'm giving you this little phone, but it's going to have some study things you can study when you go home. Like the chances of you as a husband and wife taking my product guide and reviewing it at your dinner table with each other, like, oh my God, I met this guy, Casey, and he shared me this thing. It's so cool. And then when it's time to tuck the kids into bed, you're not going to take my product guide and read it to your kids at bedtime. And what I mean about this, everybody, is your clients forget what you do. As much as you think they memorize what you do, they study what you do, they don't. They forget. And so that's our job as salespeople and sales leaders to ask really good questions to make them think so that we are memorable. And how do we show up versus, oh yeah, that's the dude that just talked for 16 hours straight and sent me 75 emails and then asked me, do I have any needs?
Well, ask the questions to get them to come up with the answer that you want, right? You know, lead them down the path. And you know, it's a tale as old as time. Make them think it was their idea, right?
And I think everything, I 1000% agree with you, Ashley. But I think all that said starts with this word behind me. Because if you don't believe what you do matters, if you don't, and I learned that ripe old age 41 years ago from a mentor of mine, if you don't believe what you do matters, you're already losing. And if you believe that what you have can help somebody, then why wouldn't I ask more questions? Why wouldn't I help meet them where they are so they can understand what great looks like? They just haven't experienced it yet. You got that right out.
I was going to say, I'm a big fan of manifestation and, you know, putting your mind behind, you know, what you believe and what you want to happen. So I can't wait to hear that session.
I love it, Case. And by the way, when I go into a sales call, guess what they remember about me? The Schmedium shirt I have on. I'll joke.
How often you just give me this, like rip it out like the Hulk ever?
But you know what's funny is you are so right on that. When you have a conversation with somebody and you're trying to sell them something, I mean, I see this all the time. Interest. They have to have interest in you too. You know, they have to like you. You know, if it's just you're like just transparent with that. I hate to say, but that salesperson with the briefcase back in the day, you know, just coming in and giving you a brochure. I mean, can you just give us 1 minute about what people need to do on that end? Because I think so many people, like you said, they try to rush to sell. They try to throw that agreement there and get it signed. How do they just like listen? How do you actually listen? Seriously, tell people to shut up.
So there's two things I teach. I teach something called don't be the guy or girl that does the 2-in-1, which means asking two questions inside of one question. Hey, Ashley, Shark, what's going on? How's life? How's family? What have you guys been up to? How's business? And what do you guys do? What's the goal for the day? Like,
holy shit.
Jesus, what the
I'm like, what'd you just say?
Yeah. And most people, when we do that, we forget the first 5 questions we asked. And the client, the person we're trying to talk to and build a relationship with, they remember the last one. And then we just pounce like a cat on catnip. There's also a technique. I'm not going to share this because I won't be people surprised, but I teach a specific technique that no one will know you're doing, whether it's on Zoom or in person. That I created like 3-4 years ago that I thought was kind of silly, but actually I've had many people say, oh my God, dude, that worked. Thank you so much for teaching me that. So you're going to have to show up in the session to learn more. We'll tease people, but it slows us down. And if you're someone who's talking super fast and making eye contact and doing this and looking at your phone, like that doesn't scream listening. That doesn't scream being present.
No, not at all.
You know, and like I'll end with this. One of my favorite quotes of all time that I've shared often is the old Maya Angelou, which is one of my favorite people in life. She says, it's not what you said, it's not why you said it. How do you make people feel? And I think that's what elite sellers do. That's what great leaders do. Are you memorable for how you show up? And I think that's the opportunity we have. And hopefully that people will be inspired to think differently when they leave my session and then take their game to another level. And they get all the other fantastic speakers that are going to be providing wisdom as well.
Woo, we're going to have so much fun. By the way, little tip, I'm going to interview you one-on-one, me and you. Sitting in a chair there, let's do a deep dive for 30 minutes about your personal life and your professional life because we want to really know the real Casey, okay? Is that cool?
I would love to.
Dude, we're going to sit down like a little Joe Rogan, a little shark, maybe with a drink in our hand, Come on, man, right?
I love scotch. Scotchy.
Oh, well, I do bourbon, so there we go. So we'll both be tanked by 30 minutes is done. I'm just joking. And before we get out of here, let's give a plug about your book, man. Just give us a couple minutes about that amazing book you have.
Well, thank you for asking. It's funny. One question I get is, Casey, when are you going to write your second one? I said, I'm not ready yet because I feel like I have so much left in the first one. Yeah. And as the author of the book, if I'm still learning from myself, then I think many people can too. So I wrote it really for 4 reasons. And again, the title is called Win the Relationship, Not the Deal. I wrote it for a salesperson that tells himself the story, I'm just too busy, I don't have time to read. BS, you do too. It's literally very, very easy to read. And it's a book of habits. So it's a book of when you get stuck, you're not sure why things aren't working from a relationship building perspective. It's 6 very specific things with interactive like quizzes inside there to like really make you think.
Yeah.
I wrote it for colleges, people who want some EQ out of school. I wrote it for an executive who says, man, my sales team's not getting it. Well, here's a guide to do it. And then lastly, I wrote it for universities to help really teach the stuff. So something I'm super proud of. I mean, I had the idea for about 8 or 9 years before I left K-Force. But because I didn't want to write it there because I didn't think it was fair to them or me if I was distracted. And so when I left in 19, I took 4 months and wrote it. And
wow.
It's been super fun to just see it impact people. And it's been a very, very humbling experience.
I love it. Well, hey, Case, thank you so much for coming on the Tailgate, man. I can't wait to see you in person. Ashley, man, he's going to have something that's just going to be like mind boggling. I'm going to say it like that. It's like, wow, at the end.
Maury's challenged me. So I know I have big shoes to fill and I can't wait to spend time with you all and meet some amazing people.
All right, brother. We'll see you in 25 days. Don't miss out. If you guys get a chance, we still have tickets left. Join us now. Get to check out Casey up and close in person. He's going to do some Q&A afterwards and everything like that. So join us at the Staffing Sales Summit. Woo! See you later, Case.
See ya.